Well, good morning, YouTube. Today is Father's Day, June 18th, 5:07 a.m. I wanted to take the time to talk about Father's Day. For me, it's a bittersweet holiday in the sense that I have one child, my oldest son, who I neglected to parent at all. I left his mother before he was even born. I think I left her before I even knew she was pregnant. But it doesn't matter. I wasn't in the young man's life at all. And I always regretted it. It's still to this day one of my one of the things I'm most shamed about, and rightfully so. I was a young man, but nonetheless, I failed to live up to the bargain we make when we do these types of things and play with fire. So I'm a dad in two different ways to Jacob, my oldest son. I'm really just a distant voice, someone that he might look like. I've just never been there for the guy. And Gigi and Lincoln, it's the complete opposite. Our family unit remained whole, and I believe I smother at times the kids with love, and it's because I feel so guilty of how things went with Jacob. I don't believe that I'm faking it or anything. It's just I realize through that experience how precious the relationship between a father and his children are. Just no different than the relationship between a mother and their children. They're super, super important, and they fulfill different roles, obviously, and everything. And I thank the Lord every day that Jacob's mom was a strong-willed woman, because I may not have agreed with her parenting style and what have you, but Jacob is a pretty well-rounded young man. He didn't take that huge wrong turn or anything like that a lot of young men without fathers do take. So I'm grateful for her doing that, and the men that were in Jacob's life through his time that help guide him and shape him. I'm really thankful, and I thank the Lord for watching over him those years. So that's how it's bittersweet for me. My kids will smother me with love today, and I will feel shameful because I know in my heart that, I'm not necessarily a worthy father. I am to them, but collectively as a father, I failed a good degree on my oldest son. Breaks my heart, it doesn't matter about my heart, it matters about his heart. But so I see both sides of the coin, I guess that's what I'm saying. And it's just so, so, so very important that kids have dads in their lives, and not just dads, but dads that engage the children and, challenge the children, wrestle with them, and get them out there doing things outside of their comfort zone, showing them how to be respectful. Those are all things that dads typically pass down and show you know, one of the things, the simplest things that you can do is open a door for someone when you're all walking in together. And I try to do that as often as I can in front of my kids, and it just to show them that I'm no better than anybody else. I can be the first one in or the last one in, it don't matter. And quite honestly, I prefer to be the last one in, so I'll hold the door. And I see it in my youngest one, Lincoln rather. He'll make a big deal out of holding the door. He'll crack back and lean and hold it like this and throw up a salute and everything else. And it's just him mimicking me to a degree. But as he becomes an older man, he'll continue to do that, because he's learning the value now. A genuine smile and a head nod and a thank you is really a pleasant feeling to get. And you open the door for family, or you open the door for an elderly couple or something like that. Open the door for a couple little kids, whatever the case may be. You're helping each other, and that's just a good feeling for everybody. These are things that dads are pretty good at teaching. Moms are too, don't get me wrong at all. My wife is very good at teaching the little nuances and things of social, engagements with other people. So that's Father's Day for me. I don't want anything special. I tell, I really just want to be alone on Father's Day. Maybe doing a small project or mowing the lawn or something. I don't need and don't want any kind of praise or thank you or anything. Simply because I don't want to be celebrated for just doing what the basic, you know, so Julia at some point will ask me, what do I want to do today? And I'll say, I just kind of want to be alone today. And I will. I'll probably take a nap or watch TV and take a nap or mow the lawn and take a nap. Something and a nap. But now for me and my father, and I imagine this is true with most kids and their fathers and even their mothers, he was teaching me stuff all the time. I just thought he was criticizing the stuff I did and everything, and he really wasn't. He was trying to show me ways that he did things and ways to do things in general. I mean, my dad was, when I was a young kid, my dad was still the type of guy who was out there changing engines on the weekends. So we had a family car, or dropping the transmission out, changing it. So we had a car to get to, school, or not school, but grocery shopping and work and things like that. And I learned a lot of what I know about mechanics, good and bad, from my father. One man is capable of a lot. And I seen my dad do a lot with trying to fix up old cars so our family had something to drive and stuff. One of my first memories of working with my dad was that, everybody has this memory, I'm sure, but holding the flashlight or handing tools to my dad. And we were working on an old Ford pickup he had, putting in new seat and seat belts. I think it's what we were doing. I know we were definitely doing seat belts, because I had to go underneath, and we must have been bolting down the seats. Maybe but anyhow, I went underneath, and I was so little I could sit up on my butt and just sit there and torque stuff down, so he could get in there and really tighten it down, or hold lights or hand him tools. Or sometimes he just needed a small hand to get up somewhere and start the screw. You know how that is. You got try to work in some of these small places, but and I mean, I learned some of the early things of automotive care, changing tires, oil changes, changing out light bulbs for trailers or headlights or anything for that matter. Um, you know how it was pre 90s. You know, the cars could be worked on without any real regard for a computer giving you a problem. So, you know, most of my relationship with my father was that type of stuff. He worked and was a volunteer firefighter, and so when he had time or was at home, whatever the case may be, it was usually chopping wood or splitting wood or stacking wood or cleaning up the yard or helping work on the car, things like that. But we did do camping trips, and he would take us fishing, and um, it's just different. You know, my dad had five children, and I was the youngest of five. I got essentially two kids, even though I have Jacob out there. Um, he's a young man now, takes care of himself. You know, the years of paying child support and everything are gone. I can just offer him me now, and but I feel blessed all the way around. You know, I feel blessed that my dad is still with me and that I had him my whole life. You know, one of my it's just a memory. I don't know if it's good or bad, but this was kind of like my this was just a very like dad type of thing to do. I had missed the school bus personally. I'd missed it with intent. We'll just say that. And uh, you know, I started walking to school, and my dad's driving down the road in the work truck, like a big old dump truck or something like that. And he sees me and he stops. What the hell are you doing? I'm like, I'm walking to school. You know, missed the bus. He's like, where's your brother? And I'm like, he's at home. I think he's sleeping. He's like, he's supposed to take you. And he's all pissed. And he has me get up on the running board of the dump truck, like by the door, the steps up to the dump truck. And he sticks his arm out the window and puts it around me. He starts driving down the street. And I think I was in high school, so I was probably like 13 or 14. And he's just driving down the road, you know, our road, which is a neighborhood road, but nonetheless, with me standing on the outside, and you know, we get up to the house, and of course, he let Chris have it and told him to take me to school. But um, you know, that's just how my dad was. He was very is unconventional in certain ways. You know, we would go camping, and uh, he would take the same truck that I helped put the seatbelts and stuff in, and others. But at this memory, I'm thinking of the Ford. And we would drive all these old logging trails. And some of them you'd be like, man, we're not getting out of this. Or I remember this one time we came upon these old bridges, and they were designed, I reckon, for light duty vehicles like I'm thinking like those go-karts and things like that, you know, and foot traffic and bike traffic. Really not. I don't think they were designed for vehicles, because my dad, when we crossed it, we took up the entire thing. I mean, the entire thing. We were right to the board's edges, and I'm like, what in the hell is he doing? You know? So he creeps across, and everything was okay. But he would do that stuff all the time, you know, go across a bridge, and it would be like you got to keep one tire on one board, otherwise you go in, you know. And we'd always be like, what in the world? But it was a different time, you know. We rode everywhere on the back of the truck with the tailgate down. Um, you know, when we were out there doing that type of stuff. Um, you know, one time we went to Michigan. I think it was like about a 5-hour drive, and we all were in the back of the truck, you know, across the Canadian border twice, in and out, and no problems. It was just a different time. But I feel blessed all around. You know, I think more than anything, I personally just struggle with the day. I hate being acknowledged for things that we're supposed to do, or things that we've done marginally well, you know. I My kids tell me they love me all the time. Jacob too, you know, not all the time because we don't talk all the time, but um he does reach out and I send him messages, and I, you know, maybe he doesn't know. I hope he knows. And I'll to that point, I'll make sure he knows next time because it just popped into my head, but um you know, just saying I love you can carry carry a kid through for a long time, through a tough game, or through a scary moment at school, or you know, um yeah, kids just want the strength of their daddies. That's all they really want. So I think I've gone on a little longer than I even wanted to. Just wanted to make a quick you know, video about it. and and that's that. So wish all you fathers out there a happy Father's Day, and all you mothers that play father, happy Father's Day, and all you big brothers and big sisters that help take care of your siblings. And um yeah, if you're playing that, if you're doing that role, you know, you know who you are. So stay with them, keep bringing them up right, even if it's hard. uh you know, it's for the best. Our country's teetering um on social destruction and a cultural calamity that is just, that quite honestly, it's unreal. And men, and strong men, are needed now more than ever. I don't necessarily consider myself a strong man, but for my kids and stuff, I'll be as strong as they need me to be, and then some. So, but so happy Father's Day, everybody, and happy Father's Day, Dad, if you see this. Um, and thanks for watching. Have a good day, folks.